plug up to this thing right now. Or can I? Maybe I can pull it off. Yeah. Looks like that'll work. Mic check, mic check. Yo, what's up? Jump in the chat and let me know what you think about the subject matter. If you're an artist, drop a line in the comments and let me know what kind of art you create. All artists and creatives can pretty much benefit from this strategy. The more you repeat the strategy that I'm going to share with you, starting very small, it doesn't take a lot of money, the more you'll see the fruits of those efforts. Here is a little bit about say what? Let me see. Check this. Let me check this these chats. Live chat. All right, boom. I got the live chat where everything is visible. So if you say anything, I will see it. All right, yeah. So once again, just leave it in the comments and let me know what kind of art you create. If you're creating paintings, this will definitely work easy for you. If you're a graphic designer, this will work even easier for you. But you could take a basic drawing off of a piece of paper and apply this principle and actually invest somewhere around $100 or less and have the potential to turn that into $500 or more. My strategy basically is for every $11 you spend, you have the potential to bring in $50 or more against that investment. So if you can see that that's more than 50% markup on the ROI. And it's easy and doable and attainable. It's just, you just got to get up, and go do it. If you live in like Los Angeles area, that makes doing something like this that much easier. My cheat code for sure on getting my prints done has been Temu. Temu, with the direct to fabric prints, and believe it or not, that laser came from Temu as well. So the laser investment was $130. I made 5 custom business cards with QR codes and NFC chips attached to them. I sold those business cards for $100 each. They were made out of bamboo. A lady wanted them for her company, and she wanted all of her representatives to have the same vibe and the same look. So when she saw my business card, she was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is like my own little tap card that I make." And she's like, "Oh, I want one. As a matter of fact, I want like 5 for my company." I was like, "No, easy, no problem." So I made them all and put each individual person's name on there, and each individual link goes to each person's profile on the website. And then their contact information is landing right there where they land. So I invested $130 on the laser on Temu and immediately turned it into $500. So it paid for itself and then some, within the first week of having it. So it's definitely like, it's the kind of tool that artists need. We need to invest in. If all we can get is a small laser, then get a small laser to start with. My laser is pretty small. But if I use it strategically and creatively, I'm able to come up with some really cool stuff. I mean, look at this. That's dope, right? Turn a little regular old $10 hat into a freaking 80 to $100 hat. You know what I mean? Who's got a hat with wood on it, for instance? Once again, those markups are what we're looking at. We're looking at like concrete numbers, and attainable and doable tasks. So to accomplish something like this, you literally just need to take a decent picture of a piece of art, and then you need to submit that picture to a place that provides those direct to film transfers. There's a little more to it. I can show you how to really optimize the whole system as far as how to get the most out of each transfer sheet. There is a technique called gang sheeting. So if you don't gang sheet, then you're not going to get like double your money out of each sheet that you order. Okay. Here's the philosophy behind that. When you order like a direct to film transfer, you'll see the size that the direct to film transfer is going to come. So, like, let's say you got a normal like paper size 11 by 8.5, right? 8.5 by 11, right? I'm looking at that for, I'm gonna get two turtles out of that. I'm at that much space, right? On an 8.5 by 11, I'm gonna put my turtle twice on an 8.5 by 11 canvas, and then to really gang sheet it, right? Here's the really cool part, so that you're not wasting any empty space, dude. Trust me, I know this sounds like a lot of information, but I'm showing you the sauce. I'm showing you how to really optimize this system. You take your logo or anything small and you fill in all the empty spaces on that sheet, right? And you create an 11.5 by 11 by 8.5 sheet with the artwork with no empty space. Now when you get that heat transfer, all you're doing is cutting out each of your designs that you intend to use. Okay. So a normal heat transfer with just one turtle on it, with all that empty space, that's stupid. So I put two turtles on in and I fill it up with more logos and things like that. I do my own gang sheet, right? And then I submit that. And then that's what I get back. And then so one transfer 8.5 by 11 is going to cost you about 70 cents. And for 70 cents, I'm going to wind up with two turtles, probably like 4 or 5 different logos in different sizes and different colors. And so I'm really like getting the most out of my investment in those situations, bringing the price down on what I have to purchase, and then I'm able to mark the price up on what the product is that comes out of it. And so simple. I cut the turtle out, do that all on the design, so that all I have to do is just cut it out, and then I heat transfer it onto my hats. You can heat transfer these on with a regular iron. You don't need a special iron. I do have a special iron. I'm using one of those little tiny. Let me show you what I'm using. I'm using one of these. It's made for the Cricut to iron on vinyl and shit like that. But I'm using it because it's so small and precise that I'm able to really get in there and bow, 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 really get that thing, the pressure and heat that it needs in order to adhere properly. So um, you can get blank hats from anywhere from $3 to $10, depending on the level of quality that you're looking for. My markup is I sell my hats for no cheaper than $40, $50. If I invest $5 in a hat and I put a 30 cent heat transfer on it, I'll sell that for 40 bucks. And then if I get a $10 or $11 hat and I put a heat transfer on and I'm selling that for like 50 bucks, 60 bucks sometimes, right? Um, and then now that I'm doing these wood bills, there's another markup. We'll be selling those for 80 bucks. So each thing that you add from your little crafting swagger adds value to your product, and you just keep on going from there. And here's the science. You make the shit for yourself to test market it, test your design. Don't order a whole bunch of nothing. Make yourself a hat or a few hats and rock them shits. Wear your own designs when you go out, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to take your kids to school, wherever you're going, whatever your flow is, you should be representing. Be your own billboard. That's why the hat is so valuable to me, because it's so high up that it's easy to see even if you're driving in the car. So I like, for an artist, using hats to market our art a little bit better than using t-shirts. T-shirts is cool, right? But a hat, like, let's just say you fuck around and sell your hat to somebody and it becomes their favorite hat. Look at that marketing that's happening. Look at how many people are going to be seeing that hat and how frequent they're going to be seeing it. Speaking from experience, this is literally how this ends up happening. And then word of mouth starts happening, and then the popularity starts to develop. And if you could secure a local community with that way, then you have the potential of being able to branch out and scale up. So yeah, it's really exciting, to try to share with you guys how specifically I feel hats is a far more valuable investment for an artist to not only start securing some income, but to also market their brand and market their art and get their art seen by more people more often. Um, and so that's what I've accomplished. I've gotten a couple of people to basically favorite my hats. Now I got a couple of people collecting my hats. And what that inspires is for me to go and create more stuff and to come up with new designs and to stay creative and to keep on flowing with it. So that's kind of the math. I don't think there's anything I left out. You start with just one piece of art. That's what I did. I started with just one piece of art, and I'm going to be branching out and stepping into some other pieces of art as well. But right now, I got something that works, and so whenever I make them, I sell them. It's a successful venture, and it helps put food on the table. And so, you know, I'm just trying to, inspire others to inspire others, and art inspires. Trust me. You have no idea what kind of conversations get started just because somebody sees my hat and says, "That's a really cool hat." And I've secured jobs this way. I've not only sold people hats, but then found out pain points they had in their lives that I'm able to help them with. Right. So yeah, it's the best way to market your art, in my opinion. If you're not doing hats and you're an artist, I think that there's money being left on the table, and we can't afford to do that unless we're rich. So that's what I got for you today. I hope you got some benefit from it. Been promising giving you guys this information for a while. It's taken me a minute to get to it, but here it is. And the link to my school is in the description. If you guys are interested in joining any of those courses that I'm going to be putting out, I got two different courses over there that I'm going to be putting up. One of them is already has already started. And if you're interested in those, the links are in the description. Thank you very much for all your continued support. I appreciate you guys. Well, we got like 25,000 of you guys in there. I appreciate you guys hanging with your boy, and rocking with me. And I'll be back soon with the next module. All right, y'all take care. Oh yeah, I forgot. Please don't forget to create a beautiful rest of your day.